Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're taking a look at Action again here. Seems like he's been pretty active on the ladder lately. Very good to see. And he is going up against one of my favorite Protosses to watch and keep an eye on. It is Ruin. We're on the two-player map Minstrel, which has given us absolutely phenomenal games so far. I would actually like to hear from you guys, so leave a comment below on this. Out of all the new maps from this SSL season that we just had, you know, they go on ladder, so you see them a ton. You see them in SSL, you see them on ladder, you see them kind of rotated in everywhere. Is there a map that stands out as giving, like, really great games? I think, in general, the map pool has been very good. I think Kickback has been a very bad map with not that many good games on it. I think Monty Hall has given us some really cool games. Obviously, it's the crazy map. I think Deja Vu, as far as four-player maps, has given us the most interesting games for a four-player map this season. And then, but overall, I think Minstrel, this map, this two-player map, has been the best from an observer's perspective. That's my opinion on it. I think that this has been kind of the map of the season that has made a lot of really fun and interesting fights. So let me know down below. And thank you very much for subscribing. I know you must be subscribed. You're not part of that 50% that watches the videos and isn't subscribed, right? Okay. Pool first here from Action. Ruin scouts around. So a little bit tricky there. It looks like he wanted to go Nexus first, but I believe he has to go Forge here against the timing of this spawning pool. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. No, it looks like I'm mistaken. They have it timed out so well. Like, a lot of these builds are timed out to the second, where, like, you might have to pull 3 probes because the cannon is finishing as the Zergling is here. Like, that type of thing happens very often. And you do have to get on top of that. It's, like, really important. It's like it's one of the things that you grow in as a StarCraft player. I mean, I still remember when I got exact timings based on when they started mining gas for, like, when Zergling speed would finish so that I could have a bunker up at that time, that type of thing, right? But yeah, Action only makes a couple things. He doesn't want to get aggressive here. He did make his hatchery down here. And he'll make his next hatchery here, of course, as he chases this probe away a little bit. Photon cannon on the way for Ruin. How's that Nexus going up? Looks like standard openers on both sides. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever, I'd say. This all looks pretty normal, pretty standard. As far as, like, an edge, you'd give it to Ruin just slightly, because he did get away with that Nexus first against a pool first. But Action, you know, he's not... He's being pretty greedy with his pool first. He made like 2 Zerglings only, and he's been just pure droning ever since. So the difference is not really that great. Wait, did I just see a sinking? Oh no, I'm sorry. I like glanced up here. I saw the gateway, and I glanced up here. I saw a gateway. I'm like, did he start a second gate? There is actually a 2-gate build, which we've seen Mini do once or twice, which is hilariously strong. It's actually one of my go-tos if I ever play Protoss for Zerg. But where you make the Overlord, if it doesn't get into a good position to see what's going on, if you make a secondary gateway in your natural and you suddenly walk out, you make 2 zealots out of the second gate, so when you would have 3 zealots, you have 5, and you walk across the map, and Zerg gets in a lot of trouble a lot of the time. But you have to do it in a perfect situation where they can't scout that it's happening. Okay. Stargate coming up. Zergling speed and a layer here for Action. And just pure drones. He's made like 4 more Lings only. So definitely not very much. He is really focused super heavily on you know, on just making pure drones. Sorry, I was fixing a little audio thing there. Anyways, Citadel coming up for Ruin. He has his second gas very quickly. Will this be fast Psystorm? Will this be fast Dark Templar? This looks like fast DT to me. Fast DT seems like it makes sense for the map. There's so many different paths. Feels like you can slip a Dark Templar around and have some good potential for finding an area that's maybe not that well defended. Right now, he's just switching the positioning to block up the holes. This is too thick. Or, well, that's a TWO thick. So, like, you need 2 units here. You need 1 unit here. This is tight. Second gateway, and there's that Templar Archives. The second gateway, of course, making it the natural is just in case you need an emergency Archon if mutas break into your main. Because if you make, like, all your gates up here and only 1 down here, you make a High Templar here, you make 1 here, and they snipe it before it can get down to make an Archon. Whereas whenever a muta bust happens, it's always in the main base, never here, because you always have additional cannons at the front that the mutas can get aggroed into. So, Hydralisk Den. Zerg hatchery there. Another hatch, another Evo. Just standard macro play out of action, which I'm very much liking to see. I've been a little bit critical lately of action for the amount of cheesy plays that he's done, but I love to see his macro play in there as well still. +1 on the way for those Corsairs, which are continuing to scout and doing a great job. So he's going to end up with 3 kills, which is pretty awesome. The Scourge come down, they're going to get 1. They do. They get the 1 kill Corsair. But still, 3 kills is pretty solid. I feel like trading 1 Corsair to get 3 Overlords is going to be good. DT rotating around to try to hit in here. A couple Hydras and another Overlord on the way. The Lings just spread out in front to keep an eye on any move-outs that may occur. So let's see if that Dark Templar rush is going to actually end up doing anything. There's actually no units here. Ooh, Action sees that instantly. Really on top of things. Doesn't really get the damage he was looking for. Now, he brings the Corsairs up, and he'll get a couple Overlords due to this. So that's kind of nice. And in fact, the DT might be able to get in and get more damage. He started a DT here, but it is a little bit late. So the DT, yeah, look at this. Damn, Ruin, all right. Now he's getting the damage he was looking for. Gonna even pick off these Hydras as the drones do escape. Excuse me. That was really well done. So he's actually killed like 5 Overlords so far this game, which is definitely significant. And the DT is definitely paid for itself at this point. Lost mining, got drones, got units. Good opener. Good, solid opener. So some more gates on the way. Kind of a funny looking building placement there. So he's going up to 6 gates right now. He's trapped the probe to group up the Corsairs. I actually did not catch if he's got Storm. I believe he does not. Yeah, just starts it now. So that Storm feels just slightly late, but he's put a lot of pressure on. And in fact, oh, mutas are being made. So this is actually, this is kind of nice, I think, for Ruin, isn't it? With a few mutas on the way, like the Corsairs are going to counter those really hard. There's no way he's going to make enough mutas and Corsair, or mutas and Scourge here to actually contest. I don't think. If Ruin, for some reason, throws away his Corsairs, maybe, but, like, we don't even have +1 Flyer Carapace. So, not a fan of this choice of the mutas being made. Yeah, he kills off those Scourge. Gets on top of everything with these charge or speed lots. Oh, okay. Well, the Sim City plus the Hydra's coming up will be able to block this. I love some of the Corsair usage here. I feel like he could have gotten a little bit more done with those. This seems really good. I think this was a mistake. Yeah, he's going to kill it. That might have been rallying out and a drone accidentally pushed it over. That's a real possibility. You definitely want to get rid of that. It could be costing him a supply. So, third base going to be coming up here for Ruin. Mutas and Scourge flying across. I don't think he can get anything done with these. I feel like this was a bad choice. Did he not realize that Ruin actually did end up getting +1? Because he already has +1 Corsairs. He's continuing to make them. He hasn't been wasteful with them. He's been active with them, but he hasn't been wasteful. So I don't think these mutas were ever going to get anything done. And when there's +1 against no +1 carapace, like if you're actually going to go mutas, generally you'll get that +1 carapace so you can still fight the Corsairs if he gets +1. which is very common. It's not uncommon. Like, some people cancel +1, sure, but if you have the Spire, oftentimes they just let it finish. So yeah, the Corsairs being grouped up here once again. Oh, he's going to slaughter that. My God, you can see how quickly they die. Now, the Speed Zealots plus High Templars moving up to this area. By the way, this is a lot more Zealots. This is kind of more of the more old school strategy. You know, I talked a lot in recent PVZs about the difference between people who make a lot of Zealots versus like a smaller, like maybe one group into the Dragoons. But yeah, here it is a much heavier Zealot composition. He's continuing to make them. Is he going to get the damage he needs with them? You can see where it's like, okay, well, he's trading for some units. He's not really getting the economy right now. He's being pushed back. He's lost some High Templars. And when you look at it, the standing army that we have here at 11 minutes is not that great for Ruin. He's been very active, though. You have to give him that. And, in fact, he might end up getting this hatchery, it looks like. Not enough... Ooh, the egg plus the drone. And he decides to turn and fight. His Zealots were actually getting kind of low here. In the meantime, Corsairs engaging those... Oh, my God, he almost popped a ton of Overlords there. Another good Zealot engagement. Look, if you go mass Zealots, and this is the type of action you're getting, no pun intended, yeah, that's fantastic. And you can see, you know, even some of these older type strategies, they don't work all the time, but you can see the power that Ruin is showing here. Splitting those Zealots up fantastically, getting a huge amount of damage, killing this off. The Zealots are tanking so much. He's getting so much done with his Corsairs. Look at this. He's twice the supply of action right now. Oh, my God. Well, this is a little bit tricky. He's going to want to fly home, but he's going to take a lot of hits on the way. Dragoons come out. Okay. Getting that transition going. Has that third base. 1/1 upgrades with +2 carapace on the way. +2 for action, which is kind of nice. Now, action is going for heavy Muta. And he's actually getting the Lurker upgrade, too. The Lurker upgrade is the possible transition that we will see. The heavy Mutalisk that you see here, this is the big risk that he's taking. It's not like he's stupid and it's like, well, no, those already didn't work. Why are you doing this? I think action here is looking at this and saying, I am so far behind. I need some magic. And his magic is going to be sniping all the High Templars. So that's what you're about to see. He's going to try to do that. The Corsairs hopefully be a little bit out of position. So he flies in 1, 2, 3. 1 remains. That is an insanely good Psystorm right there with the one that remains. So he only gets 1 Psystorm off. Is there going to be enough here to hold against Ruin's gigantic army? Lurkers are finishing. Observers, more of them coming up. The Corsairs clear everything in the sky. I think that's game. I think the secondary Muta thing was not a terrible idea. But he was already too far behind. This was an excellently played game by Action. His movement of the Corsairs was very strong. I think that the 1 DT, like the choice to do the DT build on this map that has so many different paths and it's hard to keep track of where everything is, not a bad choice. And when he got the damage down here, that was really good. The heavy speed lot follow-up where he sniped this hatchery and was getting Overlords at the same time, really excellent multitasking. Ruin set everything up very well at home during this time as well. Superb game out of Ruin. Action just couldn't quite keep it together. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.